So he made a number of changes there, and then so when they traveled to Zambia, he had already planned that he's going to actually kill his wife in Zambia. Guys, today's video is a short one. I'm just going to share with you a quick story about the US couple of Lawrence Rudolph and Bianca Rudolph, who shared a passion of big game hunting. Okay, so back in 2016 in September, Rudolph and Bianca traveled to Zambia, to the Kafue National Park, so that Bianca could actually add a leopard to her collection of animal trophies. Okay, but on the last day of their hunting in Africa, as Bianca was packing in their last month so that they could actually return back home in the USA, she suffered a fatal blast from a 12-gauge shotgun right in the Kafue National Park, and that's how she died. But let me take you back. How did it all start? This couple, Lawrence Rudolph and Bianca Rudolph, flew all the way from the USA and to the Kafue National Park. Now, the Kafue National Park is one of those top 5 big national parks in Africa. So these two were passionate big game hunters, and they shared this passion with each other. You know, so they traveled all the way. They picked Zambia, and they flew all the way to Zambia. Reached in Zambia, traveled to the Kafue National Park, deep in the bush in the Kafue National Park. And then when they reached there, they spent a few days trying to hunt for the leopard, which the wife to Rudolph, who was actually Bianca Rudolph, wanted to add to her collection of animal trophies. Okay, so they tried to do that several times, and of course they managed to kill a leopard. Okay, they managed to kill a leopard in the Kafue National Park. I find game hunting a little bit sarcastic. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. So these two are big game hunters. They managed to hunt a leopard. Their mission was accomplished. Okay, so when they were done, when they were now doing the packing so that they could actually return back home to the USA, Bianca suffered a blast in her chest from a 12-gauge shotgun right in their cabin at the Kafue National Park. And then the Zambia police were called. They did some interviews with the people that were around that place at that time. And then, of course, the police, of course, people explained what they had heard. Of course, most of them, their story was just similar. Like they said, oh, we heard a gunshot in that cabin, and then we went there. We found that the lady was in a pool of blood. Okay, and that was repeated by several people. Now, the funny part is that the funny part with our Zambia police is that not so much investigation is done whenever a crime has been committed or whenever something like that happens. Okay, they just look at what they can see and then they conclude, and that's it. That's fine then. So that's how they interviewed people who were there. They interviewed Mr. Rudolph, and Mr. Rudolph's statement was that how his wife actually shot herself while she was cleaning the gun. Okay, so she shot herself by mistake. That is, the gun went off by mistake, and that's how she died. So the Zambia police said, okay, that's fine. And so this couple was let go of. The wife, of course, she was transported to the US, and to speed up things, she was transported to the US, and everything went well. They buried her, and he went his way. So went back home, of course. But then, what is funny was that when all this happened, the FBI, which is the Federal Bureau of Investigations in the USA, and some other law enforcement agents, they did let this case actually die. So without Mr. Rudolph knowing, the FBI were in Zambia and trying to find out exactly what happened, and what happened to Bianca Rudolph. So they came back, they came to Zambia, they did investigation. Remember, this case happened in 2016, in August, that was. In September, sorry, that was. So the FBI were in Zambia. They went to Kafue National Park. They asked a lot of people a lot of questions. They studied the scene where this actually happened. They reconstructed the scene where this actually happened, and they examined. Of course, they had already examined the body, I presume, at that time of Rudolph. So they examined it and they saw how the bullet was, and that scientific kind of forensic kind of investigation, and they concluded that Mr. Rudolph actually had shot his wife, and not that she's just suffered a gunshot while she was cleaning it, or maybe the gun went off by mistake and things like that, like the story given by Mr. Rudolph. Okay, so a lot of issues started popping up here and there. Okay, so at least they knew that he had killed his wife. Now remember, this is the wife, Mr. Rudolph and Bianca. They had been together for over 30 years. Okay, so the Zambia police had forgotten about it, and then Rudolph, when the FBI had actually found all this evidence, and they charged him with the murdering of a US citizen in a foreign country. That is what the charge he was actually given. So he was arrested, and so he started appearing before court. Now the FBI continued to investigate further, and what they found was interesting. Larry Rudolph actually had a girlfriend who he wanted to marry. Okay, so it gave the police and the FBI quite a lot of information when they bumped into such information. So what it was that Rudolph, before they actually traveled to Zambia, he made a number of changes to his wife's insurance policy. Okay, so he started playing games there with the insurance policy. So he made a number of changes there, and then so when they traveled to Zambia, he had already planned that he's going to actually kill his wife in Zambia at the Kafue National Park, for that matter, for Christ's sake. So, and that is exactly what he did. But then this girlfriend had also helped him in a number of things. So she was also charged for aiding and abetting, okay, in this case. So what happened was, now fast forward in 2023, August this year, Rudolph was sentenced to life imprisonment. And remember, this was actually a dentist, if I did mention it. Rudolph was actually a US dentist. Okay, he was about 67 years old at the time, and his wife was I think 54 or somewhere there. So this was a lovely couple. But then Rudolph, being a man, he went, he looked for another slightly younger woman, and they started dating, and promises were made, and during that time from 2016 to 2023, he had collected huge sums of money from insurance companies, amounting to up to 4.8 million US dollars. So this was a wealthy man. So he had planned all this simply to defraud the insurance companies, and this news was everywhere. You see, so like this one said, the dentist sentenced to life for murdering his wife on hunting trip. Lawrence Rudolph, 68, was also ordered to pay more than 4.8 million in restitution for fraudulent insurance claims made after his wife was fatally shot in Zambia in 2016. The federal prosecutors said. The lawyers for the accused, who were these two here, insisted that their client was still innocent, okay, and they actually intend to appeal this sentence. Okay, so here it says lawyers for Dr. Rudolph said on Monday that they planned to appeal the sentencing Larry. So that is how this case actually ended. But let me know what you think about this couple, and also the trophy hunt in Africa, guys. I think it's too much. We need to leave these animals, otherwise in no time they will be gone. Okay, they'll be totally gone. Okay, thank you so much for coming back to my YouTube channel. I thought I needed to share with you this story for some of you that missed it back in 2016 and all the way up to 2023. Hey, I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. But let me know in the comment section what you think about this. And you can as well watch some of my videos on this particular channel that will pop up right at the end of this video. See you next time.